All right, guys. We're working on this flatbed. It's Monday. I slept horrible last night. I just felt like crap this morning. This was a rough day for me, so I skipped work again. Been doing that a lot lately. I know you guys have been hearing that. Anyways, so we are going on a trip. I saved you the pain of watching me do an oil change on my Tundra this morning. It needed to be done. I hadn't done it since our last trip, and I just didn't have time. Finally got it done. I had the oil sitting here. I finally got it done this morning. So back on this flatbed for my plow truck. Jeez. I cut the ends of these off, you guys. Both sides. I'm going to try to reuse this on the truck. I'm just going to make different uprights right here and just make it look a little better. I'm hoping it'll be all right. We'll see. Not 100% yet. But what I am working on is straightening out these rails. So you guys, this is another attachment for, this is actually Harbor Freight Porta Power. I've had two of these. First one wouldn't build any pressure, so I got another one. I've had it for a few years, so it's got this little like duckbill kind of thing. I stuck it in here. I'm pushing this out a little bit at a time. Seems to be working. It's straightening it out. It does get a little hard to pump, but it does work. So I pushed it out just a little bit, leave pressure on it for a little while, then I've been letting it off. So I'm gonna go around these edges. I'm gonna get these straightened out. I'm gonna try to order metal. I'm gonna come straighten this one out, and I think I got one more back here that I was talking about. Yeah, right here, guys. So I'm gonna get these straightened out just so they look a little better. I haven't ordered metal, you guys. We've been trying to pack for this trip going to Silverwood. My wife got really sick last night, so yeah. I've been kind of just packing what I can. So I might not get this. I'll probably get the metal ordered maybe today, maybe tomorrow. They'll drop it off Wednesday. We're leaving Thursday morning, so the chances I get any more of this done before our trip is pretty unlikely. I think we probably missed our Monday video, you guys. We just had a lot going on. First one we've missed so far, so it is what it is. You know, life, family comes first, so this is kind of my second gig thing that I'm doing for you guys, showing you what I'm making. So I'm gonna get the rest of these pushed out. I got that one, this one, and this one. I'll probably clean these up a little bit, just make them, because I cut them off with my pliers, just squared them off. Clean them up with the grinder, and I'll probably get metal ordered today. That's probably as far as I'm gonna make it on this, you guys. I might pick this part up, set it on there, see if I can make some kind of mounts. Maybe that's what I'll try to do tonight, because I think I got some stuff I can build some mounts with, possibly. I got some scrap over here that I might be able to make something out of, so I might do that. If I do, I'll show you guys for sure. All right, everyone out there, we are still on this flatbed. I did get my material ordered. It is, let's see, Monday was a holiday. Tuesday I skipped work, had some stuff I had to deal with. So it's Wednesday night after work. My metal showed up. I had some major credit card issues because I went and got a new card. They reprinted it. It wasn't working. Yeah, I had a bunch of shit screwed up. I got it fixed. My metal showed up. They took my credit card finally once I got my side of it straightened out. But my metal showed up. I wanted to show you guys. I got the first cross member in right here. I did want to show you this. It's not as obvious on the camera, but right about here it's bent. When they dropped the metal at my house, they bent it. I don't know how the hell they bent it. It's freaking 4-inch channel. But it was only one end. This piece is still straight, so I got one 20-footer. That's straight. It was just the very end. So I'm guessing what they did is they pulled it off the back of the truck like that and backed out, and the weight of it just bent that one end. But it's definitely got a tweak in it. It's about 3 foot of it, I think. It's just about from here to just a little bit past this first frame rail. It's not horrible, but it's probably bent a 1/2 inch, I bet. So I just said screw it, and I cut it and put it in there. Yeah, no one will ever see it. Me and everyone on YouTube's the only one that's ever gonna know it's bent. And it's not horrible. So I'm gonna work on getting these other ones in. You guys seen in my other videos when I built the trailer for Tad? Use your scrap piece to mark your tab, because essentially you got to fit down inside of there. This piece has got to fit inside of there. So use a little piece, make your marks, cut it out however you want, plas, cut off wheel. I'm using a plas and a grinder. But this is going to be one of my brackets here, you guys. I did this the other night when Dylan was here. That's going to mount right there. It's going to bolt through that hole. I got to do one on the other side. Like I said before, these tabs are coming up here. I thought I had these other ones figured out. I think I showed you guys this. I was going to mount those right there. The problem with it is, once I put that bolt in there, and this is decked with diamond plate, I'm never going to be able to get to this nut down here. I'm contemplating cutting a hole right here to get to it. Contemplating, I wish I had a riv nutter is what I wish I had right now. That'd be perfect for this scenario, but I don't, so I might tack the bolt into here, or the nut down in here. I might move this all together. I liked it at first, now I'm kind of hating it, so just because of the bolt situation. So yeah, I didn't get those brackets totally figured out. I think I told you guys I was gonna, but I'm gonna work on getting the rest of these two cross members in tonight, so that I can cut this one out and I can build the brackets. So then I'll probably cut this ass end off and move it forward like I've been talking about. That'll give me some room to cut this frame off so I can shorten this thing up, because I don't like it. It's too long, too big. But yeah, the cross members, man, this is gonna make this thing so much better. The ones over in there were so weak and pathetic. So actually putting that in might have gave me a good spot to mount something right here to the original mount. But I think I'm gonna do one here. I don't know, I'll let you guys know when I get that far. I'm gonna get these cross members put in tonight. I'm gonna get them all cut, notched, tacked in. I'm gonna try to get them welded out tonight. I don't know, it's about 6 o'clock now, so I do gotta go cook some dinner. My wife's not feeling great, so I'm gonna go make some soup and grilled cheese, and hopefully that'll help her a little bit. I got these cross members in. So I got my 1, 2, 3 right there. This guy's coming out, like I said before. This guy's gonna move forward. I just got these tacked in here for right now, you guys. I did leave enough room in between this wheel. As this leaf spring suspension comes up, it travels backwards. So this one looks a little close, but there's also like, that's like 12 inches between the tire and here. This thing can only go up 5. Even if that side drops, pushing this side up more, it should never hit in between these two. Because literally I have 2 inches of frame. This is 4, and this is 2.5, I think. 4, I think it's 2.5. 3 inch, sorry. So that's 3, this is 4. So we got 4, 5, 6, 7, and then a couple inches of frame rail, 8, 9. There's only 5 inches between the bump stops, so it should never hit it. So we're good there. I'm gonna actually get probably this cut out. I might stop tonight. I think I'm gonna go get in the hot tub. My freaking leg is killing me, my foot. So I'm gonna get that crappy one cut out probably tomorrow night. And maybe I'll probably weld those ones in, get that one cut out. Then I'll start hacking on this back, trying to move it forward so I can get it this closer to my mark over here. So we got a little bit shorter, stubbier flatbed. We'll get our frame cut off right there. Hopefully by the end of the weekend. We decided not to go on our trip. Just a lot of stuff wasn't working out, so we decided not to go. So I'll have this weekend, try to get this finished up, hopefully mounted to the frame. Yeah, we'll see. I think that's probably as far as we get. This might be a couple kind of a builder series, you guys. It's going to take me a while. I got a lot of work to do here, a lot of grinding and stuff. And depending on if I bevel these corners or not, I'm contemplating not doing it because I just don't want to put any more time and effort into this plow truck. Winter's coming. I kind of want to get it done so I can get it painted. I still got to build my headache rack. Still determining whether I'm going to use the original one that was on there. I really want to use round tube. You guys know me and my round tube. I love it. Just looks cool. And it'll tie the headache rack to the snowplow mount that I built when I got this truck. So I think I'm going to do it out of round. I don't know. I might use parts of that. We'll see. I should just use it because like at this point now I'm like, did I really get my 300 bucks out of this thing? I probably still did. Just this back plate alone is probably a couple $100. This one here right now. Same with this, it's probably another $60 or so. The 3 I just added were like $138 or something like that. But it needed it in order to deck this thing with 11 gauge in a couple years from now. Maybe a year from now, maybe this year, I don't know. We'll see what I do. It needed it. And it was just a little floppy on this truck. So we'll see where I get. Like I said, I'm going to try to get that moved over and those welded in, you guys. I'll show you when I get there. I've been hacking on this flatbed for a little bit here. Kind of want to show you where I got. So I got my 3 braces welded in. Not gonna lie to you guys, that one and that one kind of messed the notches up just a little. I don't know if I mismeasured or when I put my piece on to draw my little tab. I don't know if I forgot to leave it to the edge of this material or if I pushed it in the thickness of this material. I'm guessing that's what I did on both sides, so I was a little shy. I had to fill some holes, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. They're not great. I don't even want to show you. It's they're not great. Some of them, like, they came out pretty good. Other spots are not so well. This is kind of one of the bigger gaps I had to fill. They did fill. They're not great. I'm not super proud of them, but they are welded. All 3 of them are in. I got these mounts put in yesterday on both sides. So that's one of my rear mounts. Like I said, this is gonna move forward. I'm still got these ones sitting in here. These kind of just, I'm gonna leave them just because they support this. There won't be any bolts in it. I gotta figure out, I'm gonna probably put 2 more, one up here and one right here. Because these are the stock mounts. I'm gonna try to figure out something here today. So I can get those done and put in. Then I can cut this out and start working on this ass end to get it cut, shoved forward to make this thing a little stubby. So I say stubby, it's still gonna be 8 foot long. This thing's over 8 feet right now. It's a long flatbed, man. I don't know what kind of Ford this was on, but it is 102, 104 out here. So quite a ways, there's 8 foot. It's quite a ways over 8 feet. So I'm gonna actually cut this thing off back here at 90, so it's gonna be under 8 feet. Just to make it a little smaller, and then that way when I buy metal to deck this, I only have to buy 2 sheets, just 1, 2. And I'll probably actually set them this way. There'll be a seam right down the middle. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at, you guys. I'm gonna work on these mounts, trying to figure something out in this area. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. It's gonna have to be out of scrap. I do have these little pieces here that originally came off this. I may do something along that line. Plate this, and then weld this to the plate. Maybe put a plate over here to support it. Re-drill a hole here. I'll probably do it that way. That way I can plug weld the hole. That's kind of what I'm looking at. We'll see where I go. These were on the truck. I don't know if you guys can see this, but these are like a whoop. They're like a hook. They were not, I don't know who cut them or what they cut them with, but yeah, they are way crooked. But it's just a mount for this thing to bolt to this truck, so we'll see. So I got this mount done. Well, this is how far I've made it. So I added a plate in between this C-channel. Then I took the original piece of angle iron that was mounted down a little bit that way. Put it on here to go to the stock bed mount. I'm contemplating putting a plate in here so that it's got a little more rigidity. It's pretty stout as it is. That's like 3/8 angle. It's pretty thick stuff, and this is quarter. That's light duty C-channel, but it might be stout enough, you guys. I might just leave it. I don't know. I might put a triangle right here just because this is kind of off in space, or I might put a block under this back here. I don't know. I don't love this mount, but it's what I got to work with. I don't have any more material, so kind of putting this together. And that's my other mount there, you guys. Just a piece of 4-inch C-channel, 45 the corners, and then it's got 1 bolt in it right there. through the frame. Like I said, this one's gonna move up here, you guys. So it'll be a lot closer to this mount here. It'll be somewhere in here-ish, I think. So we'll have 1, 2. This one's sitting on the frame, not bolted to anything. So 3, 4. Then I'm gonna do something up here too, so we'll have 5. Still not sure what I'm gonna do up there. I gotta get this other side straight across over there put in. I got the plate cut. That's literally just a piece of 1/4 inch, you guys. It was already cut on one side at like a 30-degree angle. So I just matched it on the other side. I just kind of like the way it looked. But yeah, got her in there. She looks pretty good. That hole's already in there, you guys. I think I might rosette weld that. Just fill that back up with weld to make sure it's good and solid in there. All right, you guys. We got this thing bolted down in enough spots, so I'm gonna finally take this out because it doesn't need to be in here. It's rough. I've drawn lines on both sides, and there's 2 pieces of tube under here. I'm just gonna hack them off to get them out of the way. Then I'll clean them up later. So got that out. Now you can see here's my fender wells for my tires. So when it comes up, it won't hit either one of these because it's pretty wide here. It's like 24 inches almost. So the tire will come right up in between here. I'll get this knocked the rest of the way off. I'll grind it down smooth, make it all pretty. Then I'm gonna get back on building these front 2 mounts. Then we'll start on that back end. You guys can see how lightweight tube that was. My pliers went right through that like it was nothing. And then this stuff over here is like 3/16. It's crazy. So I'll get this cleaned up for you guys. Get both those cleaned up and the other side over there. All right, guys. So we made it a ways here. We pretty much got all of our beams welded in all the way around. Those mounts are done. I think I already told you about that. These are the mounts I ended up building for here. I just took another piece of that 4-inch channel because this is 4-inch channel back here. Tied it to there. Cut a piece of 1/4 inch down here. Drilled a hole in it to mount to here. This channel is tied to our main beam, so it'll hold this up. This thing's welded all the way around here, so it's good and strong. I didn't weld that, it was already there. I just added this bracket to fit to my truck. So we got all the ones on this side, and we got the ones on the other side done too. All the beams are welded out. There's our other bracket. There, and right there. They are in there. This thing is good and stout now, guys. Yeah, there's no wobbly. We don't have to worry about this thing collapsing. We're gonna start working on measuring out for this, where I'm gonna move it to and cut it off, where I'm gonna cut the frame off to shorten this bad boy up. I set the headed crack just set it up there. This thing's still a little tweaked, you guys. It's not horrible, but it's not great. And I don't know if I like these. I don't know. I'm contemplating building something to come up to here, set this on there and see what it looks like. I don't know. I'm torn whether I like it or not. And keep in mind, you guys, it's going to be up here, not down here. I just threw it on the flatbed because I cut the lower sections off because they were really bent. So I just kind of wanted to see what it was roughly going to look like. If I even like the angles next to the cab. I don't mind the angles next to the cab. They're fairly close. I think once you get it up a little higher, it may look funny. I don't know. I just don't know, you guys. I'm torn about it. I kind of want to rebuild it, honestly. But we'll see what I do. I'm going to mess around with some stuff here in a little bit. I'm going to probably finish this back end. Or I might just go hang out with my kids. They're going to Billings tomorrow. So I may mess around with this little tonight or just go hang out with the kids and deal with it tomorrow. We'll see. I'll show you guys when I get there. How are you guys? Automatic purge. It's working great now. Hey, hopefully you guys watched the last video. It's totally working great now. Yeah, and the manual bleed is spot on too. Anyways, I'm about to chop the back of this thing off. So hook my chain back up, you guys, just to catch this thing. It's probably gonna fall anyways. I'm just hoping it won't be, I just hope it doesn't hit my concrete more than anything. But I do got this marked out. So this is what I'm gonna do, you guys. I'm gonna cut this right along the C-channel, right along the bottom of the C-channel here. So this web will stay with this back piece. Then I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna chop this out right here, 12 inches from this front face right here, where the back side of this 10 gauge or 1/8 inch to here. I'm gonna whack this thing off. I'm gonna have to cut these also so that I can move this to here. This will eventually hook to this corner. That piece will. So all this will be gone. Kind of. I'm gonna have to put a little spacer in there and bend this back and put another stake pocket right here. The other thing I'm gonna do, so from here to here is 12 inches. So I'm gonna whack this thing right here. And I'm gonna cut 12 inches out of it. So this 12 inches here is gonna slide to here. I'm gonna re-weld this and I'm gonna plate it both sides. Probably just the back side actually, because this is gonna be really close to it, my bracket here. And that'll mount to the frame. This bracket's gonna end up somewhere about right there, which is great because it's right in between this V. Same thing on this side. I'm doing the exact same thing. Then this thing will be shortened up. It's gonna take me a while, you guys. This is a lot of cutting, a lot of, I sat here for at least an hour measuring, double checking, because I don't want to screw this up. I really get one shot at this. I mean, kind of, it's welding, it's metal. Stuff will stick back together, but I only want to do it once. I want to make sure everything, I cut it at the right spot, and then that whole front end just goes whoop, 12 inches this way. The other thing I'm gonna have to do is cut my frame off right here. So I'm losing that much. I think it's, I want to make sure I'm not lying to you guys. Six inches. That's funny. Yeah. So I'm gonna lose 6 inches right here. Literally the back of this truck, that was just a frame. The back of this truck was actually further, and then it had a towing package and a bumper. So I'm losing like well over like 13 inches off the back of this truck. I did pull this thing out and drive it around a little bit. The weight of this is like just about perfect. It's given it just enough to where my chains will like grip in the dirt. Before, without this weight on here, the back tires, you'd barely touch gas and it would spin on the concrete because it's so light with the weight of the plow on the front of it. Because yeah, that's a big plow, man. It came off 3/4 ton, and I got it just on this 1/2 ton. So it's a pretty good sized Western plow. You guys seen it before, so yeah, it's actually really helping out. Once I'm still deciding on this, you guys. I'm gonna get this back done. Then I'm gonna decide on this headache rack. So you guys, I'm gonna chop this off, move it forward. I'm gonna make some fish plates. If you guys don't know what fish plates are, it's like literally like when you cut something off, like I filled this piece here, but when I cut this off and I re-butt weld these together, I'm gonna put a plate right here of some sort to tie that together. I might do one on both sides, but probably just this side because this bracket is literally gonna sit right here. So close to this fish plate, I probably won't need it. And literally, you guys, the amount of weight that's gonna be on this flatbed, I'm not hauling stuff with it. It's not a big hauler, it's just a half-ton plow. So the amount of stress that I'm putting there, probably not a big deal. I have fish plated a lot of other stuff like frames, like my concrete guys. I did two different trailers for them where I had to fish plate C-channel just like this. It was actually 6-inch and 8-inch C-channel that I had to put some fish plates in just to kind of hold it together. They had one trailer that was angle iron that I cut to fold it up and then fish plated it to get the strength back. It's not a huge deal in this scenario because I'm so close to my bracket and I'm sitting on the frame. There's another mount right here. There'll be one right here. We're talking maybe 14 inches. So I did some cutting. So I cut the whole back of this thing off. Did all that work to put it together, and then I just cut it back off again. We are making some headway though. So I tried to use my grinder and it had catastrophic failure. The thing right there broke off. I think I might have screwed up. I bought these new discs that I've never used before. That thing got on there super tight, and then I went to undo it and this thing broke. So yeah, garbage now. So I went back to the Plows. I plowed this off. I cut this off right at the edge, you guys. I'm gonna clean this up. I wanted to use a cutoff wheel or a Sawzall, something so it was really clean. It didn't happen. My grinder took a poop on me. So I got this cut off. It's still a little warm. I left my 12 inches here. So I'm gonna cut 12 inches out of here, 12 inches out of there, and then off each end too, 12 inches. So that should put this right there and that 12-inch stub right here once I cut these off. Before I finish cutting this, I'm gonna do some more measuring and some calculations and blah, blah, blah to make sure that it's right before I cut these off, because I don't wanna like keep piecing this thing back together. I wanna put this thing on one time where it needs to be, put in 2 fish plates and be done. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna get these cut and stuck back together. Business had to buy some new grinders last night. So unboxing, I buy these Ryobis. They're like 34 bucks at Home Depot. They're cheap, they last about 2 years and you're kind of done. But they do last a while. I actually bought 2 of them just because I get sick of switching the disc back and forth. So I'll put one as a grinder, one as a cutoff wheel. I will show you the first thing you need to do when you get these things. Oh, this one's got a screw. First thing you do is take that, you throw it in the garbage. The next thing, this grinding wheel that comes with it, throw it in the garbage because they suck. They don't grind anything. They don't work worth a shit. Yeah, so just get rid of that crap because it don't work. I actually tried one of these discs the other day and they won't grind anything off of anything. So that's the first 2 things to do. Then they're actually usable. Yeah, get this out of the way so that you can actually use the freaking grinder. Normally they're like a quick release style. This one's actually got a screwdriver on it. But yeah, first step, throw that shit away. We'll get this off here too. Maybe. There, now she's usable. Get some grinding wheels put on here. I'm kind of wondering, you guys, so I went to a different brand of, these are a different brand than I normally use. I usually buy the Harbor Freight ones because they're pretty cheap. I got like 100 of these for like really cheap, and I'm wondering if maybe that's part of the issue why I was having issues getting this off last night. I had one explode in there, and I think it tightened up really tight on here. I hope that's not the issue, because I'm just going to break this grinder too. Also, these handles, I never use them. I used to have a boatload of them sitting around. You can see this is kind of where I hang my grinders. There's one of the other ones. That piece. Here's the grinding handle. I usually never use them. They just kind of get in the way. But like I said, I did get two, so I'll have this one set up as cutoff wheel. My other one is my flat disc. That way I'm not switching back and forth. I'm getting sick of doing that. It's a real pain in the butt. Whoops. Yeah, so today, I got this thing. I messed up last night, you guys. I mismeasured. I was supposed to take another 1.5 inches here. So you can see I got a little gap where this is gonna go back together. This is actually in the way. I'm gonna have to move that too. But then everything will butt back up. I can get this welded back out. I couldn't grind anything off last night because my grinder broke, so I ended up having to use my Plows to cut all this apart. Then my backup grinder only lasted so long, and it dynamited on me too. So yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, those things only last a couple years and they're done. I've always thought about buying a more expensive one, but I've had like some I think they call them Medablos at work that are like real high fancy grade ones. They last about the same amount of time. We use those at work, and they're a couple $100, and they last about the same amount of time. And I don't notice that big of a difference in them. There's a little bit less vibration in the actual handle when you're grinding, but other than that, I'm like, whatever. So I just buy the cheapos because I go through them so fast. I'm pretty hard on them. Yeah, so I'm gonna go change in some cruddy clothes now that I got my grinders, and we're gonna try to finish this up today. At least this portion of it. I'm gonna have to order some metal for the headache rack, or try to figure out how to use that current one I have. We're gonna have to reattach these sides. I bend them out of the way so that I can get in here and weld. I'll bend this back eventually. So yeah, kind of where we're at, where I left off last night. It's now Saturday. I got this side just tacked together. Got everything lined up with piece of angle iron on top and bottom. You guys seen me do that on the last trailer. It's just a really quick way to get something lined up. I'll show you my setup over there. You can see I got this. There's just a little bit of a gap here. It's not 100% perfect. I'm gonna have to pull this up just a little, so I'll have to figure out some way. I might stick my porta power in here and pull it up so I can get this level. It's the same thing on this corner. So I'm guessing what's going on, there was a little bit of tension in this, and these corners are falling down, because this is really rigid. With this plate on there, it's really rigid. So I know it's this moving, it's just diving down a little bit. But here's kind of the setup you guys I got. So I got a piece of angle iron here, piece of angle iron here, 2 clamps. The clamps hold this in line. These 3 clamps are holding the top in line. So everything, I can just tack it together, pull it apart, don't be able to weld it out. You can see how close this was, you guys, to this cross member. That's why that other cross member I took out, this guy. This was a bracket for your spare tire. Your spare tire thing goes through this hole, so you can crank your spare tire up and down. Mine's gonna mount up here like Baja style probably. But yeah, I'm gonna have to re-drill some holes in these 2 brackets. I did have to notch this for that. There's a rivet right there in the frame. It's one of these rivets that holds the actual cross member in. It was in the way. It was just barely nicking it, so I just oversized it to make sure I was out of the way. Looks like this hole will probably be able to use. This one's a little close, so I'll probably move it over here. These holes obviously were not drilled precision. They are both off just a little bit. So whoever built this flatbed originally, they didn't make anything uniform. So even where these brackets are sitting from here to here, they're just a little bit different. They were eyeballing them, it looks like. I measured everything. It's just the way I am. But yeah, they're a little off, so I'm gonna probably move this hole to here, drill through the frame and stuff. That'll make it real easy access to here. I did have to disconnect all my wires because they were gonna get pinched. I may reroute these a different way. They were stuffed back through here. It may still work out all right, because there's my 7-way pin. I'm gonna cut holes for the original truck lights for the license plate. I got these guys. They still do work, so I'm gonna put them back on here. I'm gonna cut holes in here, either there on top of bar, or maybe 2 up top. I don't know yet what I'm gonna do with them, but Yeah, they are going back on there. But yeah, that's how I'm doing it, you guys. It's just helping me line it up real quick. Sorry, I keep turning the camera on you. Yeah, top angle iron, side angle iron. This holds the side, that holds the top. So you can get some tacks in it, then I'll release it. Tack the rest of the spots I can't reach, like essentially where this angle iron is, I can't get it. Down on the bottom here, where this angle iron is, I can't tack it there. So I'll pop these loose, tack it up, and then I'll work on pulling these corners back up. I'm gonna have to get my porta power out and push somewhere, or I might be able to use the winch I have hooked up and wrap it around here to lift this to tack it so that it's good. It's lining up a little good, pretty good on the outside. This side's really good. It might be able to go that way just a skosh to make this side a little better. I don't know, it's pretty good still. Yeah, we're getting there, you guys, but now you can see I just lost all that. I lost 12 inches off of most of that. The frame I lost over 6 inches on. So this truck is now on the flatbed versus where the bumper and stuff used to be. I think I lost like 13 or 15 inches if I remember correctly. So I lost a ton on the ass end. It's cool, it makes this look all stubby right back here. I'll pull it out, you guys, once I get everything kind of tacked together so you can kind of see that why I did it, just because it's smaller. And the other thing about it is that I'll be able to use 2 sheets to deck this now, like 11 gauge instead of 3, because it was just a little long. It was about, I think, 6 or 7 inches too long for 2 sheets. So yeah, it's getting there, you guys. It's gonna look pretty cool.